Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to my Clearday's channel, solving the aging crisis facing our population across North America with some massive news that recently dropped. Joining us to discuss, Jim, the CEO. Welcome back as always, sir.
Kyle, man, you are right. It is massive. My voicemail was packed yesterday. If anybody tried to call me, you got that nasty thing. Sorry, there are no more messages available to take. It was a great day.
So let me try and iterate this a little bit. I'll just read through this article that's just been kind of blowing up, and I'm going to let you kind of expand and explain this and simplify a bit, because a business combination between Viveon and Clearday will be affected through the merger of a wholly owned subsidiary of Viveon with and into Clearday, with Clearday surviving the merger as a wholly owned subsidiary of Viveon. The amendment to the merger agreement provides for, among other things, an increase in the merger consideration from $250 million to $500 million plus warrants. And now the elephant in the room, in my opinion, is this massive expansion from your current market cap. How does this make sense, and kind of explain what's going on here?
We've heard that question before, no surprise. First and foremost, as I say all the time, what's made Viveon different is, rather than look at how a lot of other companies treated us, both broker-dealer and special purpose acquisition corp, all of them would talk to us on Zoom, said, you guys got great stuff, but not one of them, even when we were negotiating other definitive agreement, got on an airplane and came and visited us. To the credit of the to the credit of the Viveon guys, they did it old school. They came and visited us, got to know us, did not hold the past against us. The problem with being a pubco is everything is back. This is what you did. But valuations are what you're going to do. So both of the founders, Juggy Gill comes from the Mayo Clinic family of healthcare, and Ron Papadopoulos comes from the Emory Hospital system in Atlanta. And both of them have been in the medical device space for ages. So what they started to look at first and foremost is, what could we be? For my Canadian friends out there, think of that hockey player. Go where the puck is going to be, not where it's been. And I'm a sports guy, Kyle. You know that, man. And the NFL is right around the corner. And I happened to be watching a TV show called Hard Knocks yesterday. It's focusing on the Jets, Jets, Jets. And they've got this guy called Aaron Rodgers, also known as the GOAT, greatest of all time. Aaron Rodgers was the first guy who ever sat in a green room and saw his draft stock drop. But some guy, I believe his name was Ron Wolf from the Packers, believed in him and took him. And he paid his time, paid his dues, and probably the best quarterback this league's ever seen, at least in my time, because my Chicago Bears were owned by him, his quote. So what does all that gibberish mean? They looked at us at the future and said, wow, you guys have a lot going. The quote was, you have an embellishment of riches. Juggy said that because of the opportunities we had in front of us. So let me unpack them. And there's 7 reasons, and I'm going to give you the 7 reasons that I've heard over and over again since I met them. First and foremost, many of you who trade know this. The OTC is an inefficient market. It's illiquid, and there are characters out there who take advantage of it, particularly the bid-ask spreads. That's a problem. In addition to that, we are a tightly held company. 80% of our shareholders are people who I've known for ages and ages and ages, who believe in what we're doing. So it's not an easy company to buy into. The concept is great. What's our TAM? We're looking to serve the largest generation of Americans ever, the baby boomers. By 2030, every baby boomer born will have been turned over 65. That's 130 million people. And half of them, about 65 million, are going to be over 75, needing care when we do not have it. The market niche we're going after, I call low-hanging fruit, is residential living facilities here in the States. There are 54,000 of them that serve 3.5 million Americans today, and they are responsible for a TAM of $278 billion a year. If we get a small percentage of that, we're ridiculously successful. But Juggy came from an operational background. He retired from Berkshire Hathaway and he got himself into the special purpose acquisition corp business because he believed in, and this is where he and I were completely aligned the first day we met him. Many of you know I'm an old stockbroker, so I've been around SPACs before. And the concept of a SPAC, Kyle, was phenomenal. But as usual, it gets a little disjointed around Wall Street. Find experienced investors who have access to capital. They raise that capital, put it on the public markets, allow anybody to buy it if they want to. And they look for private or public companies undiscovered. And I'm going to tell you, there are 11,000 companies on the OTC, and there are many undiscovered gems. So they took the time to see us, but what they saw was an operator. I'm not a guy coming out of MIT or a tech school saying, hey, I've got this great idea. I'm actually living it, working it, and breathing it. So what we did is we took all the things we learned. We saw all the pain points of operators, Kyle, and said, what can we do with technology? Every industry in this country has been changed or saved by bringing technology to it. The industry I'm in, unfortunately, has only focused on back of the house answers, CRMs, HR, accounting software. We bring front of the house operations. Our technology helps drive revenue for an operator, make for a better patient experience, and help make the caregiver have a better day. Answering the three problems out there. I don't have enough workers. People are unhappy with me. Regulators are unhappy with me. Number 4, we're not an R&D company. We are doing this stuff. Watch my press releases. We've announced, and if you want to look back at my press releases, because I've heard some people say, well, Jim's been quiet for the last 2 months. I'm not one of these guys that's just going to put out press for putting out press. But if somebody were to look back and print out old school or however you want to do it, my press releases, I've told you what we're working on, how we're doing, why we're doing it. And now that has all come together. And for the luck of me and Viveon, they came to us almost perfectly. If they'd come to us 6 months earlier, we weren't ready. We were not commercial. Another month or two, we would be knocking it out of the park. So they found me at a perfect time. They valued me as one of their private companies because we all know there's a multiple difference. I am being lumped on the OTC. If you look at the OTC markets, they essentially say I'm a nursing home. They have a little paragraph about my technology, but it's a difficult story to understand. Our leased homes are gone. All we do now is develop innovations, products, and services inside our communities. We're really doing it. It's not, hey, this would be a great product. By the time we bring it to market, it's been proven to provide great applications. So what Viveon saw, Kyle, is the right time, the right place with the right people. And their job is to help me get out there and find the best capital sources so we can take these things and accelerate it outside of my little Central Texas area into the Southeast, Southwest, and eventually the whole country.
Well, on that note, I want to finish with a bit of a quote that you stated in that article, which this will better transition Clearday into a high-growth technology business serving the expensive longevity care crisis. And on that, I'll pass the question off to the viewers. We'd love to know what you think in that comment section below, and definitely consider subscribing because as these catalysts and news continue to come into play, we're going to update you here. But on that, we'll catch you in the next one.
Thank you, Kyle.